A man reports his history of interaction with seemingly intelligent orbs. Well, we know that the evil one can even manifest itself as an angel of light, as the Apostle Paul writes and teaches us in the New Testament. And that's how he tempted Eve. He was a very enticing, beautiful angel of light. She believed he was an angel of God, but she didn't listen to what he was saying properly. So they could even manifest themselves into a mountain in front of us. So it could be, who knows. Now, North Carolina man Christopher Bedsoe, 62 years old, recently recounted a series of encounters with seemingly intelligent glowing orbs to British tabloid The Daily Mail. Bedsoe told the tabloid that his experiences began following a period of personal economic loss. He said, "I was at the point of giving up on life and thinking terrible thoughts, but I loved nothing more than my children and wife, so I pushed on," he said. Bedsoe was given a job in construction from his father and was invited by the crew with whom he worked to go fishing at Cape Fear on January 8, 2007. He was there with 3 other men and his son, Chris Jr., who was 17 at the time. During the trip, Bedsoe decided to leave the group and get some alone time in the forest to reflect on his thoughts. He said, "I was 46 years old at the time and I could not even buy my children lunch. That's how bad it was," Bedsoe said. "I lost everything." And that's when he says he encountered something very strange at the top of the hill. He said, "When I got up within 40 feet of that hill, the first thing I noticed was what looked like the setting sun, but then I saw 2 of these things," Bedsoe said. However, about 150 feet above the ground were 2 orbs that glowed a blood red tangerine color. So I knew that what I was looking at was not anything from the military or anything we had. It was from another world. This is what he said about the orbs. Frightened at what he was seeing, Bedsoe fled down the hill, and then when he looked back, another glowing orb appeared directly just above him. "There was another one above me that appeared within 1 second," he said. "I wasn't there the next second. I've got a third setting sun that was as big as a house," he said. When Bedsoe returned to where his friends were fishing, he discovered that he had been gone all night. And even though he felt as though only 20 minutes had passed. He saw also that his son was missing from the group, and so he went back into the forest to find him. He said, "I heard the rustling of the leaves, and he came up weeping." Bedsoe recounted emotionally. He said, "Where have you been, Daddy? Why did you leave me? These creatures, there were 2 of them with red eyes, and I saw orbs or balls of light." Since then, Bedsoe said the orbs have appeared over his home every night. Bedsoe said that he and his family were shunned and ridiculed when he tried to tell their story to the community, and so he kept it a secret until 2012, when he was invited by a comforting being who told him he was not alone. The being took from the form of a beautiful glowing woman, floating 3 feet off the ground. The woman was glowing with a white dress, the most beautiful thing you have ever seen, Bedsoe said. "She looked at me and said, 'You know why I'm here? If you do this, I will always be with you and help you. I will help you with witnesses.'" Following that event, he said, "Immediately, I could share it with my parents and the U.S. government. I'm probably the most studied person in the world now." Bedsoe claimed to have captured over 2,000 videos of the glowing orbs flying above his home over the past 2 years, and spent 7 days with the crew of History Channel series Beyond Skinwalker Ranch, during which Bedsoe said he could summon the orbs using prayer. He said, "I'm no longer a religious person. I am a spiritual person," he said. Bedsoe has had his brain analyzed by NASA and scientists at the Monroe Institute, which studies human consciousness, and as part of the show, his brain signals were studied during interactions with the orbs. Neuroscientist James Thompson analyzed the data and confirmed that Bedsoe has no brain issues and appears to have an emotional connection with the orbs that occurred during the show. While Bedsoe's experience may seem unique, other witnesses have come forward with similar stories. A man in Indiana near the Prairie Creek Reservoir has spoken to the Singular 14 Society about a series of glowing orb sightings that span from 1981 to 2020, which could be related to winged humanoid sightings in the area. And last year, the Singular 14 Society was contacted by Shane Taylor, 44, who wished to report an encounter with a multitude of seemingly friendly orange orbs he'd had on Christmas Eve of 2014. It was really bizarre, he said. There was a dreamlike quality to the experience, but I was still conscious and aware. It was really wild, Taylor said of the encounter. When I got out of the car and they were right there, it was almost like they were attracted to me, like they picked up on me and were like, here's us, here's what we are. To me, it was friendly, like a friendly interaction. I know it's so weird to say interaction, but to me, it felt that way. This is from Nexus Newsfeed, and it's on Out of Mind too. The first thing you have to say when you see these things is call the name of Jesus Christ to make the sign of the cross over you and over them. And most likely, if they're not of God, they will disappear. We have to be aware of the very numerous amount of tricks and machinations that the evil one and his minions use to try and sway us and capture our souls, and we will find our demise that way. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.